And we are live.
Oh,
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for our event with Theresa the Songbird and Landon Ladd on their book, You're So Black. My name is Michael Williams. I am Kathy's right hand here at the bookstore. Been here for 3 years and I help with backstock, cashier, the day to day, and things like that. Uh, really quick, I'm going to read a bio for Teresa and for London.
mhm.
Theresa the Songbird is a musical, lyrical, and theatrical alchemist, sprinkling magic like hot sauce. She is best known for her appearance in the 2019 Trumpet Awards on Bounce TV, and now the viral recitation of You So Black, which has garnered 11 million views and counting. She has gone on to perform with the likes of Jill Scott, MC Light, and Jasmine Sullivan, and appears on famed pianist Robert Glasper's newest album. Teresa's from the south suburbs of Chicago, but calls Atlanta home. She holds a degree in commercial music from Millikan University in Decatur, Illinois. I also have a degree in music. That's really amazing. Something about music and books. It goes together. Music, books, and art. London Ladd is a graduate of Syracuse University with an MFA in illustration. He uses a unique mixed media approach, combining cut paper textured with acrylic paint, tissue paper, and colored pencil to bring his diverse subjects to life. London's artwork is steeped in intensity and emotion, a reflection of the artist himself. His hope is that You So Black will be passed down through generations, reaffirming African American strength, beauty, power, and love. His goal is to open a visual arts community center where lower income families can create their own art. London lives in Syracuse, New York. And that's really amazing. I hope that that dream comes true. I really do believe in community efforts like around town. I always try to strive to go to the Unity Gardens and do what I can to give back to the community because that would make people feel loved and feel like they're a part of something. And I really do think places like that help keep people busy. And like when people are happy, the city's happy and everyone's happy. And just, I'm going to read our code of conduct and then we can get on. At Brainlayer Books, we aim to build a stronger community centered around the discussion of inclusive literature. Our goal is to create an environment where traditionally excuse me, minoritized voices feel welcome to participate, speak up, ask questions, and engage in conversation. This requires a harassment free and inclusive environment that recognizes the inherent worth of every participant. We invite all those who participate to help us create safe and positive experiences for everyone. Um, so, the first thing I will ask is can you please read us the book and show us the pictures?
Here we go. You So Black by Theresa the Songbird, illustrated by London Ladd. You so black. You so black. When you smile, the stars come out. You so black when you're born, the God come out. Black is night. Black when it's wrong. Black when it's right. Black is pyramids and mathematics. Black is melanized and magic. Black with privilege. Black with pride. Black on purpose on the black hand side. Black and beautiful. Black and blessed. Black and so much more. Black and nothing less. Black is brilliant. Black is strong. Black is resilient. Black is song. Black is infinite, like hip hop or space. Black is grace. Black is love. Black makes babies. Black babies grow up. Black is tough. Black is hard to do. Black is me. Black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. It's something we get to wear with honor. I'm Black like my granddaddy and my great, great, great grandmama. Black is lift every voice and sing. Black is letting your freedom ring and resound. Black is adjective, adverb, color, and noun. Black is crown. Black is clean. So, to the Black as all everlasting, to the Black and passing, and to every shade of Black in between. You so Black. You so Black, when you smile, the stars come out. You so Black, when you're born, the God comes out.
Yes. That was amazing. I guess my first question would be, why did you open the book with "You so black, when you smile, the stars come out. You so black, when you born, the gods come out," and you ended on the same
Well,
verse.
in all honesty, okay, so I'm gonna be real super. I haven't told anybody this, right? My parents are like two completely different shades of Black. My mom and her side of the family are very, very fair skinned. Like my mom is almost like the color of the inside of my hand. When I say my dad, midnight, charcoal,
Yes.
Black. That's a Black man. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So, in all honesty, I like the whole phrase, man, you so black when you smile, the stars come out, is literally a phrase that we have heard over and over again. So I knew, but also like when you hear it, it is there's duality in it, right? You already know it's supposed to be meant as an insult. But genuinely, to tell somebody when you smile, the stars come out.
Yes.
If somebody tell me that, I'd be like, "Oh, they think I'm special. They think I'm fancy. They think I'm," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the dichotomy of the phrase that I think makes it so special. And two, like the notion of like when you born, the God come out, Black is night. You know, the whole notion of you just it prepares you for the notion of detest that normally comes with the phrase "you so black." But it also immediately makes you think of all of the nouns in the sentence, right? The you, the blackness, the stars, the God, and the birth of it. It should, even though it's supposed to bring you down, it should empower you.
I was just gonna say, I felt very empowered when I read this, and the imagery and the words combined, just it's a beautiful masterpiece of. I always say, I never was read books when I was a kid, so now as a adult, I read all the picture books. That is like my specialty, and to see images of. I love that the afro is expanding into space, into matter, and that the stars are in the afro, but it's also in the, like, it looks like her afro, London, I'm talking to you. Her afro is it looks like it's the whole page. And I like when you said the thing about this your dad smiling, there was a picture I thought of just a really dark, it's a really old picture that was in like all the black households, and someone smiling and you just see teeth. And it's something, it just says, be proud of your dark skin and be proud of who you are. And I felt so much pride in that. And I want to thank you for that. Also, London, did you intend for the afro and the space to, did you intend for that effect of it to look like the whole page was her afro with stars in it?
Oh yeah, I didn't. Well, the thing is, I didn't want it to become redundant to black gold, which the hair is a different style of hair with the
Mhm.
universe in it. So with this one, I think just like 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 Theresa was saying, just just so larger than life, like the hair, the words, the phrases, the how the cadence, that it's really it really just brings you in, like with her skin, with her, because the contrasting of her skin with the darkness and the textures of the background, it's supposed to be, I wanted like movement. That's the goal, like especially when I do stuff like that, like I just want it to kind of really feel extremely grand. And I think with the way the when you see the way the mixed media, the cut paper overlaps, not just the edges that are cut and I tape and I glue them down, but when I glue them down, you can see the way that the bump. I love the fact that they really captured the depth of it, because
Mhm.
what it does is it's like those old pictures, those old like paintings from like 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago when they're cracked.
Mhm.
And that's the effect that I have, and I just think there's just so much like that it looks more than a two-dimensional surface, and it allows greater depth and even metaphorically as well.
Mhm. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That makes me think about when you say black is resilient. So do you see that as a positive, Teresa, or a negative, or both? When
Um, I understand how in the act of practicing resilience,
mhm,
it can feel like a negative.
mhm,
But I'm recalling a conversation. Who was it? I can't recall who said it at this point, but I think it might have been Nikki Giovanni, who talks about how, like, we laud the slaves who ran away, who managed to escape, but thinking of the slaves who stayed
Hmm.
and the amount of resilience it takes to live that life,
mhm,
the amount of resilience it takes to pull oneself up post emancipation, between the 1860s and the early 1920s, where we are pulling ourselves up from bootstraps, living under Jim Crow law,
mhm.
to going in and being in a war and fighting overseas like an equal and coming back home to absolutely nothing,
Yeah.
to the crack epidemic, like we could
Well,
go
we
down
still have
the line.
joy.
But
I
if there
feel
was not resilience, we would not be able to have this conversation.
mm,
It is our resilience that our future is built on.
wow.
Hmm.
I love that. And I love, like, through all our resilience, through all the times, and that stuff's generational. We hold that in our body. We still dare to joy. We still to laugh. We still dare to be black out loud and laugh out loud, and just have our joy and be strong and be resilient. London, can I ask, when
Mhm.
I see that it's a statue of MLK, how did you come up with this image? Did you already have an image in mind when you were listening to the poem, or did it come to you as you?
It came quick. That one was a quick one because I just think about, just how that with the statue, the monument. I just remember the funding involved for that. It was almost like a testament to African Americans as well, because there was a lot of resistance to that and a lot of pushback, and it was just always elements of raising more money for this, more money, and building it and building it and building it. Um, so for me, I think without getting too civil rightsy in the book, and I wanted to at least put that in there, because I think it shows the ability with that monument and the meaning behind it. The that I think that it just emphasizes the resiliency, and the point of putting that, I made sure to put that quote in there that's next to, you know what I mean? I love the, out of a mountain of despair, a stone of hope. That had to be in there. I mean, I had to get the smallest brush just to make sure that was in there, and to see the family making a point that it was like a time of reflection at the same time. Like everything mattered, even the birds in the sky, like senses of freedom and the sense of liberty in that way. Like everything like made like for that picture to happen, not just the monument, but almost like a pilgrimage to that monument at the same time.
Mm.
Um, I just think with that page, it was half of them came pretty quick, just from like my mind's eye, and some took time, but that one came pretty fast.
What's one of the ones that took time for you?
Well, I know the pyramid one with mathematics. That one, because I didn't want to be so literal with it, because the way Teresa's words were basically, black is pyramids and mathematics, black is melanized and magic. There's a lot in there that you can play around with. So for me, I didn't want to have just numbers and like be obvious with it. What I loved about like how the pyramids were, like those are mathematical wonders, and that they were built, by Africans. They were built, the test of a time. So it, coming up with ideas and sketches and drawings, and nothing was just working until I just had to kind of sleep on it and put it aside and kind of focus and come back. And that's when, that just came into my dream, just like these shapes and colors and this like large face. And every time I like see this page, I hear this page. And I know it sounds weird. Like it just, there's just, there's like a stillness, and at the same time there's a lot of like evoking of like thinking at the same time. So for me, like with all the shapes, the angles, everything, I tried to kind of like subtly hint, like, the melanized, which obviously you see the skin, I see mathematics and pyramids. And if you notice, everything is pretty straight lined in there. If you look at it, aside from like the bottom left, where you see kind of some of the texturized, like, of the pink of some of the paper that kind of came through, but everything was kind of straight lined, and it just I just love this page. There's every time I look at this book, there's always like a reason to like love a page or an image with the words.
Yes. When I look at this page of black is pyramids, black is mathematics, black is melanized and magic, and then one page that really stood out to me, which also the color scheme is, hold on. Sorry, there's a delay. I really think of black makes babies. Black babies grow up, and how the color scheme is similar. And the colors that you used in this image, which I can show it a bit too,
Yeah.
which is, to me, it signifies hope and just warmth. The warmth of a mother's or a parental love.
I just want to take a pause.
Yeah.
Because you have the softback. When you have the hardcover, you can see that image is the hardcover of the book.
Wow.
I know. It blew my mind.
That is wonderful. Oh, I picked a good image. Okay.
Yes, it blew my mind when I saw it.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that. But back to your.
Oh, and I was gonna ask you. It's just this image is really significant, especially in the Black community. A lot of the narrative that you get outside of the like, just you just hear. You don't hear a lot about. You hear a lot about a mother's love, but a lot about parental love and like Black babies actually growing up. Like that's a very powerful statement, especially with everything that we've dealt with, violence, and like just people not growing up. I think that's very important to see that like we can grow up, we can grow to old age. What inspired that black makes babies and Black babies grow up?
So it all comes together from that when you back up a few lines that Black is grace and Black is love. It's this programming of understanding that all of the all of the negativity that is associated with how we show up for each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reclaiming that. We are gracious with one another. We are patient. We are kind. And that is like a truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our innate spirit, our innate character says, be gracious with one another. So we are grace. We are love. This idea of Black, I'm so #Black love. I'm all about it, right?
Yeah.
This notion that when we come together, we care about each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit the nail on the head. The whole message of Black makes babies, Black babies grow up. It is not a statement. It is not an observation. It's a call to arms.
Yeah.
That Black babies grow up. It's not just a something I see. It is a call. It is a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
It is a command.
Yeah.
That we should be that our babies should grow up.
Yeah.
Our babies should become adults. Their lives should not be halted anytime early. But you sneak it in there real quick.
Well, and it's just the point was received. Yeah. And when we were talking about Black is grace, my first thought is like these 4 pages go really well together because I think about my mom walking around the house cleaning, singing Amazing Grace. And like till this day, I just think of that song randomly. And it reminds me to be graceful with myself and to be gentle with myself because I'm so used to being resilient in the world and being hard as a rock, which is why like that, that I forget that under this is softness and gentleness and love. And yes, thank you for that. I had another question for you, Theresa the Songbird. Where did your name come from?
Well, Theresa is my mother's middle name. My dad named me Theresa because he told my mama she wasn't using it. But I think that was just his sassy way of saying, lady, I love you so much. And I can't think, I'm my parents' firstborn child. And I just really think that he couldn't think of anything he loved more than my mom. And he couldn't think of a better name than the one she already had. So when I started performing, I used to just go by the Songbird, but I recognized that like there's honor in my first name. There's love in my first name.
Yes.
There is a sense of metaphysics attached to my first name. The Songbird came about because me and my mom are in the same sorority. And when we would go to sorority meetings, there'd be like hundreds of Deltas there. And for some reason, they couldn't remember my name.
I know the Deltas.
Yes.
Yes.
They couldn't remember my name. So I would come to sorority meetings and they all knew that I'd majored in music and that I was a singer. So they'd be like, you that Songbird, that's who you are. So I just kind of kept it. And then I claimed it by, making it mean something. So the Songbird is the sound of a new generation believing in realized destiny.
Wow.
And I really today I had a moment, I had to stop with myself and realize that like You So Black is written by the sound of a new generation believing in realized destiny.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We finna give these kids some love about themselves. You understand me? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get excited. I ain't gonna let this hair flop around too many times getting excited. Let me
Look, let
calm
it flop and just straighten it back up. You. Oh wow, that yes, that is really powerful. London, would you like to show us some of your works in progress and getting getting
Yeah,
the images made for the book
yeah,
for you?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I'll
And I can.
show absolutely. Yeah, so again, like with Theresa's words, just the power of them, the one thing I always I've said this before, and I'll say this to again with Theresa here is just how I could with her words and how she announced herself at that award show and really went into a spiritual place and just otherworldly, just to kind of recite, words that were just so powerful from her heart. I think for me that was the best thing that I could have experienced while doing this book because it raised my intensity. It had to push me to raise my intensity as an illustrator to match that because for me, I I work alone a lot of the time. I don't go out much because I'm always doing something art related. I got deadlines. I'm always doing. You got to make money. You got to have a career. So for me, to have a project like this and to take her words and to have access, unlimited access to her spirit, to have that on replay. So when I did certain pages, I knew for this page right here, which was lift every voice and sing, let your freedom ring and and resound. I know the power of the, especially that lift every voice and sing. Because we have like at Syracuse University, we have like an MLK dinner, and during the dinner, before the once the dinner's done and there are guest speakers about and the performers start, they do they sing that song, and to hear those words, it's just a powerful song, and I think like to sing it. I'm not a singer, but I'll sing it in a crowd and sound as good as I can. But I think with that, all I could think of was a choir, was church, and because I used to work in an after school program, and my ex, she was a music teacher, and she always had choirs, and to kind of hear them sing, yeah, I just knew that for this one, I wanted to, like, as if you're peering into a church at the same time, like stained glass, and just letting you singing out. That's why, you know, the eyes are closed and they're singing out, because the second half of that, let your freedom ring and resound, like that's like Theresa said, that's just a call. And for me, going to churches, understanding, you know, the way, the choirs sing, the way it's very spiritual and intimate. I wanted to make sure that I could capture that. And I love this image right here. If you see it over here, it was Louis Gates. He did a documentary on the history of the Black church, and I just loved this so much, that stained glass image right here. So for me, you know, doing the sketches for this were pretty. At first, it was kind of like I had them at an angle. It was just a choir singing with the stained glass in the background, but I thought it would be much more powerful to have, like, as if you're peering through. So as you can see, the sketch on the right is what they chose, because I sent them a couple, but they really liked this one on the right more. It kind of fit the dynamic and of the pacing of the text and the way the pages would set up into one another. And as you can see, everything I do is cut paper.
Yes.
Um, You can see here, like in my studio, like on my cutting board, you'll see like a lot of colored paper, that like the pinks or whatever, oranges, whatever blues, and then I'll paint on top of them. And then as you can see, scissors and a cutting board, and just kind of really cutting and pasting and placing down. As you can see, since the stained glass is in the distance, the sun is in the distance, I have to start with that. So that's cutting pieces,
Mm.
right? As you can see, the purple lines, and I kind of place that down so I can put the yellows and the oranges of the stained glass look on top of it, but with the purple coming through to give it depth, just to make it interesting, and just kind of really working it in, and then kind of putting in that, the black shapes of the texture of the exterior of the surrounding area, and then you start to see. I wanted the choir to kind of have all of the blue robes, just the shape of the blue, like almost like a sea of robes, just like it was like metaphorically like the ocean at the same time. And then kind of place like the collars being red, and then as you can see, starting to place shapes of the people singing, without even putting, as you could see here, if you get closer, you could see the colored pencil to tell me where their eye sockets are and their mouth. Just really taking my time. These take weeks. They don't take days or hours. Like something like this, they take weeks because I will work on it for, about 3 or 4 hours, stop, and then do another picture. Then come back to it a day or two later so I can come back to it with fresh eyes. So a lot of these illustrations really do take anywhere from 6 to 14 days, give or take. And the same thing with the beautiful and blessed. Like I wanted a lineup of women, just different shapes, sizes, ages. It was important to make sure that readers, families that read this book can see themselves in there. So it was definitely like it's almost like a character design lineup, like you see in like for animated movies. So I made sure that you could put the drawing of them down there, and then just kind of on top of what this green is tissue paper. So that's my base, and then I start putting the shapes down of their clothing, of their skin. As you can see, they're just shapes. And then I go in there with a brayer, it's a roller, and start adding the paints on top of it, just to give it more depth, and just so it just kind of works. And as you can see, things kind of change as you go. So if you see the woman on the left, she's got a green dress, but I didn't
Mhm.
like that because I had the green in the background. So I thought, with church women, black women, they just love them bright colors on a Sunday morning. So I changed it to really kind of pop, you
Yes.
know, with her bag and everything. So I wanted each of these women to really have a personality of their own, attitude of their own, strength of their own,
Mm.
but yet all one and together as black women. So just a lot that goes into these pages of planning and plotting, um, because again, like with her words, like those words are power, and these books are forever. And I don't want to have regrets. That's my biggest fear, is coming up short.
Mm.
Because I just love what I do, and when I have a project like this, I just go for it and commit.
Yeah. There. What I'm hearing is a lot of intention from both of you. Like you both put so much intention into this book, into this wonderful book. And did you choose the artist, or was like where did you choose each other? Did you know each other before this project?
No, we were actually brought together by my imprint publisher, Deneen Milner. She was really I don't think this project would have happened without her. You know what I mean? Like, she asked me quite a few times, I think on 3 separate occasions, she asked me about making You So Black into a children's book. And once I finally said yes, she was like, great, I know exactly who's going to illustrate it. It's no problem. And like a couple weeks after she said that, she was like, all right, he's in. Send me your poem. And that was the end of it.
Wow.
At least from my end, I didn't know that each page was taking 2 weeks and all of that. You know, I didn't know that he was sweating and working every single day. I'd sent you some extra scissors or something, London. I didn't know.
But your poem inspired him to put that time and energy into it, and to, at least, I don't want to speak for you, but that is what I am seeing. And what it sounded like from your process. That's a wonderful process. I guess another question I would have, what would you want young kids to take away from You So Black? And not just like, I guess we could say Black kids and then overall all children.
I'm gonna answer your question in reverse, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Overall, for all children, I would hope that they become interested in the ideas of poetry and art. I hope that as they look at the pages, they do kind of look at the textures, the colors that are being used, that they learn poetry from reading this book and become exposed to the art of poetry. Specifically for children of color, I hope that when I gave this book to 2 little girls who really love me as a spoken word artist, and the second Kylie ripped open, because she got it for Christmas. When she ripped open the front cover, immediately she said, "Is that me?" And that is the reaction that I want. I want that when children read this book and they see the pages and they see the little Black kids and the grown-ups, that they see themselves, that they see their mothers, that they see their cousins. That I have a 14-year-old godson. He's actually one of the people that my portion of the dedication is to in the book. And surprisingly enough, the page that says, where is it? Here we go. The Black is crowned, Black is clean. This is literally my nephew. I just dyed his locks bright blonde. This is him.
Yes.
And I told him, I was like, TJ, that's you. Wow. And even though this book is far past his age range as a reader, even he is invested in every page because he sees reflections of himself. His dad is a DJ and a producer, and he looks very much like the guy in the illustrator. Like, I'm gonna show you when I see you, London, this weekend. I'm gonna show you a picture of Terry, and you're gonna flip out at how similar these 2 fellas look. But even for him to say, yeah, that looks like my dad, all of that, to be able to claim yourself in the beauty of these pages, to be able to claim yourself in the power of the words, to know that you so black, when you smile, the stars come out. You so black, when you born, the God come out. You are great. You are wondrously made. You are made out of the same stuff as the universe and the dust. I don't know why they don't think you are. I don't know why they're trying to stop you, baby, because you are unstoppable. That is what I want our babies to get from this book.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely, the church scene that you were just talking about, London, I definitely was like, is that my grandma? And me, when I was like a kid, I promise we have a picture that looks just like that outside the church on the green, you know? Yes. Is there something you want kids to take away from your images, London?
I think that Theresa said it best. I just want to make sure that everyone, like, who read, like, especially for Black kids, you know, African American, I just want to make sure that they know that I don't want them to feel like like when they see all there's a lot of books out there now, and which is great. There's just a surplus. To be a kid right now, it must be great because you have so much to choose from, so much depth. But I want to make sure, because a lot of the books that are out there, they're done in a stylized way, a very young reader type.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it. I'm somebody who I love to draw people. I love to, I sketch all the time. I wake up and my morning starts with sketching.
Wow.
It just starts. This is how I start my day, is just drawing people. And I want to make, like, to hear that just brings me joy. It's funny, little side note, when I was doing that page, like, I wanted the golden locks. That was everything was intentional. Both of their, like, the short hair of her and his, like, and I remember early when I showed them the pictures of the progress, one of the art directors was like, "Oh, maybe we should change the hair to a different color, not gold." And thankfully, Deneen stepped in. She was like, "No, we're gonna keep it. That's what I want." And to hear like that your nephew sees him, like, that's what I want. That it's genuine, that it's real, that you could be proud of seeing yourself in this book in the way that it is. It's a grittier take, because of, like, the textures and the mixed media approach, the very dabbling of the fine arts and the more children's book illustration aspect. But I just want this book to just I just want this book to really last for generations. I really do. And we said this earlier, but I just want it to go beyond the borders of the United States. It would be great if somebody takes a picture and it's like in a village somewhere,
Yeah.
or it's somewhere just way across America, because it's black. It's not African American. It's black.
Yeah.
So that's important to me. That was always the intention. I mean, that's why I didn't want to have too much American stuff in there, but I had to put Obama because that's what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And the King Memorial, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
Everything is vague.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we had a comment that said they couldn't hear. Yeah, I hope that you go on vacation one day and you see You So Black at a cafe. I hope you go on vacation one day and you see You So Black at, hopefully you don't have to go to the doctor, but it could be in a doctor's office, Does anyone attending have any questions that they want to ask? But one thing I noticed, I read this book to my, sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll ask a question after.
I was reading this. As I was reading it, I was reading it out loud to my friend and showing her the pictures, and she told me that it felt, elements of it had call and response, as in like, which one was it? Like the statements, Black is brilliant, Black is strong, and it's very like affirming.
Affirmations.
Yes. It's very
affirmations. I can't wait for little babies to memorize this book.
Yes.
And for somebody to be like, "You so black," and be like, "Black is brilliant and Black is strong."
Yes.
You better come back with my face. I can't wait.
Well, we were talking earlier about You So Black, and because I was like, oh, like roasting. And just like also I was so sensitive. I was like, please don't talk about me. I will go cry in the corner. But it took me longer than it should have to be like, Black is beautiful and Black is perfectly more than fine. And this book really affirmed me as an adult. I am an adult as well. and I was like, I see myself in this book, and I definitely want to get this book in the hands of children. Do you have any closing remarks? Either one, like Theresa or London?
I know London had something he wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
I hope that the publisher, like, you know how when they have these books that are like audiobooks,
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they do an audiobook form of this.
And it sounds like how Theresa reads it.
Yes, because
I have requested to read it myself.
I feel you can't read it any other way.
No, people gonna be mad if they hear somebody else. You're gonna have to have like Angela Bassett,
Theresa,
Viola Davis. It's gonna have to be Michelle Obama herself. Is gonna have to show up if it's not me.
Yeah,
we got high standards for this.
Yes.
Because I got a local book event and I have to read this book and I'm like, I can't read this book. I can't. No, it doesn't. It will not stop. I could do the pictures, but I don't. I'm like, I was saying this to my daughter. I was like, I may have to hire somebody to read this book because it just there's the oomph that she like. I can't replicate that. It's like you said, it's the call and response that's so powerful. But yeah, I hope that they do that. Please, I'm gonna, you know what? They ain't gonna use my art if they get somebody else again outside of if you approve it. If it ain't you, then they can't use the art.
Do you have the original copies of the artwork?
I'm not getting into that conversation. You gonna have this. I agree. I do agree wholeheartedly. Even in reciting the book, yes, I know my poem, but in reciting, like being asked to read the book, it's the pages that give me the extra, that tell me how to read it. It's the illustrations that give a different emphasis on how to read it to young readers. I can't wait till I have the opportunity to actually like sit down and read it to like 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
To really get that, I'm not gonna be able to handle it. I already know. I'm gonna have to read it twice because I'm such a sensitive soul. It's gonna be bad. I already know.
I wonder if that will be, I hope it wouldn't be, but if it would be the first time that they saw Black people in this light, in this kind of light, some kids that age.
I mean, sometimes it is, you know. Like, not to say that you're not going to get Black characters, but I don't know how many books that they're getting where they are getting affirmation of self, where they're getting self-love and high art.
Yeah.
In the framework of high art.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing for me, to look at these pages and not just be like, oh, that's another little Black girl that looks like me, but to lean in and see and feel the textures and see the aura of glow around the people, and to reflect on self in the amount of work that's put into the art.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say it reflected to me. Do you have any more works in the works? Any more books, any more art, any more? Do you do exhibition? Do you do exhibits? London? Or galleries? I guess that's what it's called. Yeah.
Not yet. I'm dabbling in that. I got like a big canvas I've had for weeks over there. I do. I want to. As we go along, over the next few years, I do want to. I'm going to keep doing the books, but I'm going to be more selective. I signed to do. I got a bunch of books that I'm contracted to do, which I'm happy for. They're great projects to be doing. I wouldn't have signed up if I didn't, but I do want to scale it back and be picky now about the projects. I don't want to. I have boundaries about certain subject matter that I'll be doing. But I don't want to thin my work out. I got a book coming out next week, which is great. It's a great book. And I had one come out in October. So I'm hot right now. If I have too much of me, then it's going to be like, okay, seen enough of that. So I don't do gallery. I will. I do want to dabble in. I'm going to transition to do more gallery stuff. Um, you know, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to the future of London Lad.
Thank you.
What about you, Theresa? Any works in progress?
Yes, I have another one of my poems that I have edited and am adapting for the children's book realm that is more about Black girls and the Black girl magic. Um, and I'm really excited about that. I also have another story that is really about my personal experiences in my childhood, but it's told like in the framework of like Dr. Seuss. So it's a story, like an adventure, but it's all told in the form of poetry. And it's like there's the framework of allegory. So it's kind of cool. I'm excited for it.
I
In
feel
my mind,
excited.
I have prayers that it ends up in the hands, like in Netflix animation or Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks animation. In my heart, I see the full scope of it. So
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all. We will be looking out. Do you have social medias we can follow?
yes, you can follow me everywhere. I'm easy to find. I'm THA Songbird on all platforms.
What about you, London?
Just mainly, I have Facebook, but it's mainly Instagram. It's london.lad.com.
Okay.
That's my main outlet. I don't Twitter or all that other stuff. I can just barely do Instagram, so I'll stick to that. But I do want to say that I'm extremely honored to start this journey with Theresa, and she's gonna be a rock star. The books are gonna be amazing. They are. I'm jealous that I'm happy that I was her first, but I look forward to all the talented illustrators and creators are gonna work with her, because I just think she's a voice of the now. This is what we need. Like her voice is so needed. Not to say,
Yeah.
that people, the forerunners for her are they're great, but we need this, right? What she brings, heart, being genuine, being passionate, and I'm so thrilled about this, because again, it's like as if I feel like I'm the old guard here, because I've been doing this since 2007, and I don't have many books left down the road, but to see, like, when I hear, it brings me joy to know that she's got things cooking and it's gonna be great. It is. So I just have to give you a big
Thank you.
respect to you.
Yes.
I too am honored. I'm honored to have such high quality art, such an awesome person that I get to do this whole process with. Like I've been saying, this has been a divinely inspired project. I'm grateful for where we are going.
Thank you.
And well, thank you for both joining me tonight in Brain Layer Books. And everyone in the chat, you can get You So Black at brainlayerbooks.com. Please, please support Theresa the Songbird and London Lad and order in Brain Layer Books. You can order on our website, and I hope you all have a great night. I definitely enjoyed the conversation, and I feel very affirmed by this book. So I just want y'all to know that I received the message, and it will definitely be received. So when y'all have your fancy dinner party, remember us at Brain Layer Books. Everyone have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.